What if I told you there are shows that completely copied Gumball from A to Z? Yeah, every little detail. And in this video, we've got the shows that did exactly that. So get ready, because you'll never expect what really happened to this cartoon. Now. Before we debate inspired by versus copy, we have to start with the one everybody points to, Miracle Star. A Chinese cartoon created to promote a goat milk brand by San Juan Foods. Yeah, you heard that right. Its lead is a billy goat, Miao Li Xing, often called Kiki, with a talking pet frog, Gua Gua. The reason it blew up in the West is simple. The vibe and setup track very closely to Gumball, so closely that mainstream outlets called it out at the time as a Gumball lookalike series of shorts. And Gumball's team even answered on TV. In Season 5's The Copycats, aired February 6, 2017 in the US, Gumball and Darwin meet near duplicates, Chi-Chi and Ribbit. A not-so-subtle nod to Miracle Star. The episode list places it as Season 5, Episode 11. Summaries describe the doppelgangers copying everything the Wattersons do and profiting from it online. So what happened to Miracle Star? From what I can gather, it remained a brand-tied, China-only oddity, best remembered internationally because Gumball clapped back on screen, rather than for any global release. Databases catalog it as a short run tied to the Milk brand, with details like character names and episode dates, but little evidence of wide distribution outside China. Bottom line, when people say copied Gumball, this is the case they cite first. Next segment, we test the borderline cases fans still argue about. Pinky Malinky didn't come out of nowhere. It started as a 2009 pilot at Cartoon Network's European studio, then years later, Nickelodeon produced the series and Netflix released 3 seasons in 2019. Creators Chris Garbett and Rige Osbjorn. That timeline matters, but it also explains why fans keep asking, why does this feel so Gumball? So what specifically triggers the copying Gumball vibe? Shared creative lineage. Gumball and Pinky were both incubated out of Cartoon Network's European studio, Gumball's main production base, Pinky's pilot. And Chris Garbett, Pinky's co-creator, worked on Gumball's staff earlier in his career, which helps explain the tonal overlap you hear in pacing, joke rhythm, and design sensibility. This isn't speculation, it's in the credits and bios. Signature style overlap, what your eye notices first. Gumball is famous for mixing multiple animation techniques in the same scene. Traditional 2D characters with live-action plates, CGI, stop motion, even puppetry. That mashup look is a huge part of why Gumball reads as internet-era, meta, and hyper-surreal. Pinky, while not identical, leans into a mockumentary reality presentation that layers graphic elements. Phones, vlog frames, talking to camera beats over a cartoony 2D world. So at a glance, viewers see a similar everything but the kitchen sink energy. Gumball's mixed media hallmark is well documented, Pinky's mockumentary framing is in the official rollout. School-centric trio dynamics. Gumball anchors stories around middle school chaos with a tight best friend core. Pinky centers a middle school hot dog kid and his 2 best friends, Babs and JJ. The everyday school problem, exaggerated visual gag, sentimental button loop feels familiar because both shows use it, down to the bestie fixes the mess beats. That's what fuels the perception of copying, even if the setups differ. Internet native tone. Critics describe Gumball as steeped in internet culture and rapid-fire meta-humor. Pinky was literally announced as a social media-influenced mockumentary, so the quick cuts, overlays, and trending joke cadence land in the same neighborhood stylistically. That shared tempo is why comparisons stick, and why it still isn't a one-to-one clone. Pinky's conceit, a relentlessly optimistic hot dog in a human town, plus its 2-camera mockumentary beats are structurally different from Gumball's family sitcom meets anything goes mixed media. And the paper trail shows Pinky's pilot predates Gumball's 2011 TV debut, which complicates any simple "they copied" verdict. But if your viewers say this feels like Gumball, knowing smile and voice, you can point to 1. Shared studio ecosystem, 2. Overlapping talent, 3. School and best friends engine, and 4. Hyper-modern mashup presentation. So, what happened to Pinky Malinky? It ran 60 episodes across 3 drops in 2019 on Netflix and even picked up a 2020 Daytime Emmy nomination for animation editing. But there's been no official renewal since, effectively, the series wrapped in 2019. If Pinky Malinky felt Gumball adjacent, Elliot from Earth cranks that feeling up, because this one literally comes from the team behind Gumball. The sci-fi comedy premiered in the UK on March 6, 2021, and in the US on March 29, 2021, with Cartoon Network's own press and trade outlets repeatedly framing it as the next original from CN's EMEA hub, the same studio that made The Amazing World of Gumball, who made it, and the direct Gumball links. The show is credited to Guillaume Cassuto and Mick Graves and Tony Hull, producers. Graves is the same director who steered Gumball's early seasons, which is why the comedic rhythm and even some character staging feels familiar. Industry sources and credits confirm that overlap. Why it reads Gumballish at a glance? Design-wise, illustrators on the series openly note that the 2D character style echoes Gumball because both shows came out of the London studio, but the worlds diverge. Gumball often comped 2D characters over photographic backdrops, while Elliot opts for hand-drawn, painted environments, so the copy vibe comes from shared DNA, not duplicate art pipelines. Story engine and duo dynamic. What triggers the comparisons? Elliot is an 11-year-old thrown into a wild alien hub, the Centrium, with his mom, and quickly bonds with Mo, a friendly dinosaur companion. Official rollout materials highlight the buddy adventure energy, very much like how Gumball leans on a best friend partnership, Gumball/Darwin, to humanize chaos. That's the structural rhyme viewers notice, even though the premise, spacefaring mystery versus suburban satire, is completely different. What happened to the show? Season 1 delivered 16 episodes in spring 2021. It later arrived on HBO Max on September 10, 2021, but was removed during Warner Bros. Discovery's 2022 catalog cuts. Trade and tech outlets, along with removal lists, specifically include Elliot from Earth in the August 17, 18, 2022 purge. As of now, there's no official renewal or season 2 announcement. So did it copy Gumball? From what I can gather, not a clone, a spin-off vibe without being a spin-off. The studio line literally calls it from the team behind Gumball. The director is the same Mike Graves, and artists acknowledge the stylistic echo, all of which explains why it feels Gumball adjacent, even as it builds a different world, tone, and background style. Harvey Beaks launched on Nickelodeon on March 29, 2015, created by C.H. Greenblatt, the mind behind Chowder. It follows Harvey, a rule-loving bluebird, and his best friends Fee and Foo as they get into gentle, slice-of-life trouble in Little Bark Grove. After a year and a half, premieres moved to Nicktoons. The show finished its run on December 29, 2017. So why do some viewers say this copied Gumball? Here are the specific overlaps people point to, and what the record shows. 1. The Kid Trio engine. Both series hinge on a tight friend unit navigating school-age problems with exaggerated solutions. In Gumball, it's Gumball-Darwin, with Anais often steering, in the suburban city of Elmore. In Harvey Beaks, it's Harvey with the twin imps Fee and Foo in a forest town. The trio structure and small problem, big comedic escalation, sweet landing rhythm are a match in feel, even though the casts and settings differ. 2. Tone and audience sweet spot. Both target that smart but heartfelt lane. Kid POV, absurd gags, and a sincere moral button. If you've watched Gumball's chaos snap back to heart every 11 minutes, Harvey's gentle climaxes feel familiar. That said, Harvey's comedy is quieter and kinder by design, which the network's own log lines emphasize. 3. Episode format and pacing. Each uses the classic 2 11-minute segments per half hour, which drives similar joke density and story beats. That's a format fact, not a coincidence. 4. Character role echoes what fans latch onto. Harvey, the conscientious heart, think Darwin's empathy. Fee, the chaos agent. People compare her to Gumball's impulsiveness. Foo, the lovable wild card. These aren't one-to-one copies, but the functional triangle, heart plus chaos plus wild card, is undeniably similar on paper, where the copy claim breaks down, art and technique. Gumball is famous for mixed media shots, 2D characters composited over photographed /3D /puppet elements. Harvey Beaks sticks to a hand-drawn woodland aesthetic with painted backgrounds. Visually, they read very differently when you freeze frame. Studio lineage. Harvey Beaks is a Nickelodeon production from C.H. Greenblatt x Chowder, not a CN Europe project. The shared studio DNA that explains similarities in Elliot from Earth doesn't apply here. Setting and story focus. Gumball's suburban satire and meta jokes versus Harvey's cozy forest coming-of-age stories. Different playgrounds, different rules. What happened to Harvey Beaks? Creator C.H. Greenblatt publicly confirmed the show's cancellation in late 2016. New episodes shifted to Nicktoons beginning March 1st, 2017, before the series concluded on December 29th, 2017. Trade and industry coverage and scheduling posts trace that rollout and the creators' comments about scheduling frustration. Bottom line, if your viewers say, "This feels like Gumball," they're usually reacting to the Kid Trio structure, format, and heart-first comedy loop. But on the hard facts, studio, art style, and setting, Harvey Beaks isn't a clone. It's a neighboring show that plays in a softer key.